Rhode Island. I have to say thank you to our federal delegation. I will say this in front of you, and I mean it, the best federal delegation in America. Have stood up again and again and again for the people of Rhode Island, and I just have to say thank you guys. The best, even though I have a new job, I still get to work with Jack and Sheldon and David and Jim, so it's okay for me. I'm lucky. Anyway, small businesses have been hit so hard. Here in Rhode Island, 1 in 3 small businesses have not survived the pandemic. And that's a similar statistic around the country. And the 1 in 3 number, it's worse for women-owned businesses and worse for minority-owned businesses. So, it's not an exaggeration to say it's a crisis, and we have our work cut out for us. Now, fortunately, our president and vice president realized the magnitude of the crisis, and so the jobs package that the president has put forth and that we're working to have put through Congress meets the moment. The rescue package, the jobs package, the families package meets the moment. Billions of dollars of investment in job training and apprenticeships, in research and development, in help for small businesses, grants and loans for small businesses, with particular emphasis on minority and women-owned small businesses. So our leader has set the path for us, and we have to get this done in Congress, and we will, because you guys deserve it. Every day you wake up, you put yourselves on the line to continue to run your business, be there for your employees and your customers, and we're going to get this jobs package passed and this family package passed, which will reinvigorate our economy, get tens of millions of Americans back to work, and allow small businesses in America to flourish. So I'm excited to work with you. It is my honor to introduce Jack Reed, who is not only an outstanding United States Senator who leads our delegation, but is a dear friend of mine for 40 years. And I couldn't have gotten through COVID without this guy. He was there over and over again for Rhode Island and for me personally.
Well, welcome home, Madam Secretary. And Madam Vice President, welcome again to Rhode Island. Your leadership and your support is greatly appreciated. The only thing I miss is our sitting next to you at an Intelligence Committee and listening to a very smart woman, I repeat myself, talk about issues of importance. I'm delighted to be here with a delegation. Sheldon and Jim and David are superb. They're key to what we've been able to do in Rhode Island. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you for Social Enterprise Institute. I think the first 100 days of the Biden-Harris administration have been the most consequential since Franklin D. Roosevelt. They faced challenge, and they turned it into opportunity. They stabilized our economy with the American Rescue Plan, and now with the American Jobs Plan and the American Family Plan, they're ready to propel America into the 21st century. Understanding the challenges we face, climate change, cybersecurity, issues of equity that have been exposed dramatically in this pandemic. And the key will be small business, as it always has been. And I think the incredible and extraordinarily visionary thought they have is they understand that in this century and going forward, capital is not just bricks and mortars. Capital is human capital. That's why we have to emphasize education and training and childcare so people can get to work and do the job. And it has to have a social conscience. And I think what Kelly and everyone here recognizes, do well, do good. And with that, let me recognize my colleague and friend, Sheldon Whitehouse. Sheldon.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Kelly, so much for hosting us here. It's wonderful to be back. I've never been here in such distinguished company before, so this is really exciting. And to Sandra and Sterling and Philip and Eugenio, we're looking forward to hearing your presentations. We're very excited to have Gina home, Madam Secretary home, and we're very excited, Madam Vice President, to have you back with us in Rhode Island. We hope that this is a frequent thing. And our message to you is really a simple one. We can tell you from Rhode Island that the work that the President has done to get ahead of this pandemic and the work that he has done to make sure that we are surging resources into this economy, it's already working. And we will do more. We will have your back to do more. We are going to assure that Build Back Better, when it finally gets through the Senate, has a really strong oceans and coasts component to it for all of our oceans and coastal states. And it's an exciting time. So welcome to all. Glad to be a part of this. And I think because of geography, I'm turning this over to our junior member of the delegation, in whose district we are, and bypassing Jim this time. But David.
Thank you, Sheldon. Kelly, thank you very much for hosting us. It's great to see you. We really look forward to the presentations. It's wonderful to welcome our Commerce Secretary back to Rhode Island, who was our extraordinary governor and our great friend. And of course, it's an incredible honor to welcome back as Vice President. So it's wonderful to have you here, Madam Vice President. Welcome to the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, Rhode Island. But as the Commerce Secretary said, and you know, Madam Secretary, small businesses are the engine of our economy here in Rhode Island. And the leadership that you have provided and the President has provided already is making a difference. I told the President when I was at the White House for the gun event, you can feel the sense of hope and optimism because people understand there's an administration in Washington who's looking out for them, who understands the difficult economic conditions that small business face, that families face, and that have put forth real solutions. The American Rescue Plan has made such a difference here in our state. And the American Jobs Plan and the American Family Plan will do even more, and we look forward to getting that done. So thank you for honoring us with your presence. I just want to say one thing about social enterprise, because Kelly and I have been working on this for a long time. We have a piece of federal legislation to create a commission so all of the federal government can be put sort of into action to support social enterprise. And I look forward to working with you and the Commerce Secretary to make sure that finally happens. And now I will turn it over to my senior colleague in the House, Congressman Langer.
Very good. David, thank you. And Kelly, thank you for hosting us here today. I'm thrilled to be back here at the Social Enterprise Greenhouse. I've been here several times before and really impressed with the work that you all have done in creating a much stronger social enterprise ecosystem for our state. So thank you. Madam Vice President, welcome to Rhode Island. I know, as Sheldon and others have mentioned, you've been here before, but first time as our Vice President, and we could not be more proud to have you here in our state. And I say, you know, what a proud, historic moment it was to see you during the State of the Union, you up there with Speaker Pelosi, and it just sent such a strong message to the whole country that no matter who you are, no matter what your background, you can rise to the highest office in the land, and everyone can reach their goals and dreams. So it gave us all such great pride to see you up there, and congratulations for that. Commerce Secretary Raimondo, our former governor, welcome back and welcome home. It's great to have you back here. So thrilled that you're doing extraordinary work for our country now, just like you did here in Rhode Island. And we are thrilled to have you back here, and I'm honored to be here with my colleagues in the delegation. And this is such an important moment as we are coming through this pandemic. We need to come back not just intact, but come back stronger. That's the challenge right now. We have to, as the President, Vice President have said, our goal, our mission right now is to crush the virus and strengthen our economy so we come back stronger. And this has been a job one for the Biden-Harris administration. We all understand that small businesses, especially here in Rhode Island, are truly the lifeblood of our economy. Over 95% of our businesses are those small businesses. These are the mom and pop shops. My mom and dad, when I was growing up, were small business people, so I know the challenges that small businesses face. They're never easy. You're doing one thing to the next to try to keep the doors open, especially hard in the pandemic. But I thank you for the work you're doing, the focus you're putting on small businesses, because they are scrappy, they persevere, they're persistent. It's not just a thought for them; it's a way of life, and we appreciate that you have the backs of small businesses and the business community, and not only Rhode Island but throughout the country. So the American Rescue Plan, the American Jobs Plan, the American Families Plan are going to help us to turn that corner, are going to get us through the pandemic and help us to come out stronger. We stand ready to work with you in every way possible to make that a success and that vision of realities. So we are so proud that you're here, and welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay, great. Thank you. So let's get started with the social impact pitch event. I'm really excited to introduce Philip Trevitt, who's one of the founding members of the Urban Greens Co-op Market. Philip and his co-founders worked for over 10 years to make Urban Greens a reality. He's a 2012 SEG Accelerator graduate, and he and the other founders have just remained so persistent and committed to this vision of making local healthy food accessible and affordable for all. Philip.
Hello. My name is Philip Trevitt. I am one of the founders of Urban Greens Co-op Market. Urban Greens is a thriving co-op grocery store owned by over 2,900 members and growing. The co-op is located at the intersection of three culturally, ethnically, and economically diverse neighborhoods, all with limited food access. Urban Greens' mission is twofold: to increase access to healthy foods in underserved communities and to strengthen the local food system by bringing local products to a one-stop shop environment. Urban Greens opened its doors in June of 2019, so we'd been open less than a year when the pandemic hit. As the grocery demand exploded, we felt it immediately. As a community store, we were able to quickly find alternative suppliers, so we built a reputation as a safe, clean, and well-stocked store where people could shop, and we never ran out of toilet paper. Of course, there were tremendous challenges. As a young store, we were forced to mature by years in the span of weeks. On top of that, there were the increased staff needs in order to keep up with really important COVID protocols. Our PPP loan was critical in helping us through those challenges. And with that and other support, the co-op was able to step up in tremendous ways. We implemented a 10% discount for all low-income co-op members. We instituted permanent pay raises for staff, and we partnered with the City of Providence and community organizations to distribute over 21,000 meals to families impacted by COVID. Looking ahead, we are excited to be part of a growing movement of cooperative businesses across this country and here in Rhode Island. Co-ops work for communities, and we are thrilled to see a future where cooperatives like Urban Greens can play a key role in building a more equitable economy and creating real community wealth on a national scale. Thank you.
Well done.
Questions?
The first question for Philip is from the Vice President.
That was excellent, Philip.
Thank you.
Actually, when we were kids, my mother used to shop at a co-op. And we had, I don't remember the number anymore, but we'd get to the cashier and then
Yep.
you'd give your co-op number.
That's right.
And so you are bringing back fond memories for me. My question for you is that in the American Jobs Plan, a very big emphasis is on infrastructure, which ranges from everything that people need to get where they need to go. One of them is about public transportation. So my question to you is, in addition to addressing the food desert issue, how is an investment in public transportation connected with what your mission is to make sure that all people have access to nutritional, fresh food?
Right. So improving public transportation has a tremendous impact, especially in some of the communities we serve, where, we don't want people to be investing a third of their paycheck or massive expenses in repairs, in cars, in gas. Providing better public transportation makes it easier to get groceries, makes it easier to get to the store and back. And it's one of the key reasons for our site we selected where we are. We're right at right at a bus stop. We've got 4 lines that go by our store on either side, and that's a critical part of making sure that we are accessible to everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
The next question for Philip is from Senator Lee.
Philip, congratulations. I've been in Urban Greens, and I can testify to everything you've said. It's great. One thing I'd like to know is what federal programs have been helpful to you and your colleagues?
Great question. So obviously the PPP was critical in this past year. I think looking ahead, one of the areas where we had explored and where I think there's real opportunity in the future is with the USDA programs. There's a ton of investment in farming and in things like farmers markets. I think there's actually a challenge in stores that are bringing both local foods and, foods that might not be from here, but create a real full shopping experience together in one place. And for co-ops, often that startup capital is the hardest part. So if we can, if there's support that can help co-ops get started, they can have a tremendous impact. Thank you.
Okay, next, very excited to introduce Eugenio Fernandez. Eugenio has a very impressive academic track record, had lots of professional opportunities, and he decided to come back to Providence, to the community where he grew up, and build a business that helps provide people the public health services they deserve. Eugenio received a loan from the SCG Loan Fund, and we are just so proud to be part of the Asthenis community as he continues to grow his business. Eugenio.
Hi. Okay, so the name Asthenis. Asthenis is Greek for the word patients. In healthcare, we refer to the people as the patients. A lot of the issues in the healthcare system stem from the fact that we started focusing away from the people, the patient, and more towards administration. Asthenis is a constant reminder that if we focus back on the people, the patient, Asthenis, it can help dig us out of some of the hole we created in the U.S. healthcare system. So what is Asthenis? So Asthenis is a public health organization with a pharmacy. So essentially what we do is we look at people holistically. And to kind of draw a physical map in your mind, think of a pharmacy that looks like a doctor's office. That's what we look like. That's what the type of services we do holistically. Our mission is up there is to help build health-conscious communities by promoting public health guidance and health education. And pharmacy, we opened in July of 2018. We opened as the only pharmacy in the state of Rhode Island owned by people of color. About me, well, I'm Cuban American. I'm the son and sibling of Cuban refugees from the 1980 Mariel boat lift. They're considered Marielitos. I'm born in the U.S. I was born here in Providence. I still have a sister there that wasn't able to come when my family came. My grad school pedigree is I did school in public health in Harvard University, which is what this concept is. It's all public health. I went to undergrad at URI. I was a quadruple degree undergraduate major. I think I was the only person to do that. You guys can double check that for me, please. It's the next slide. So the pandemic pivot, what we did was we looked at different cities that were being hurt by the pandemic. The hospital had people filling up from different cities that were hit harder than other communities. So we partnered with mayors, and we designed a lean, efficient model for vaccine administration. And that resulted in over 20,000 vaccinations administered to date. And in terms of the future demand, we know there's need for our services in communities of need. In order for us to improve the collective health of those communities, we ask that you guys join us in helping us help more people. Thank you.
The first question for Eugenio is from the Vice President.
So, congratulations. And tell me, what are the biggest challenges for you to serve the communities that you intend to serve in terms of getting them the health care they need? And by that, I mean the educational piece, the trust piece, the transportation piece. What are the barriers that you've had to overcome to actually serve the community you intend to serve?
Yeah, one thing we noticed early on is that people are looking for information about their health, and the most reliable source for your health, to get health information, is your doctor's office. But the doctors are really busy. The average wait time is 15 minutes if you go into the doctor's office. So they want to spend more time with you, but they can't. So I wanted to kind of create something, because this kind of answers your question. What people are looking for is just accessibility to education. So you can walk in somewhere in the community, and someone can say, these are your 10 options. Here's your condition. These are your 10 treatment options. Here's the one I recommend. But you're happy to discuss and choose whichever one of the treatment options you like. Hi.
Neil, welcome, and congratulations on your success from the University of Rhode Island. Go Rhodey. I haven't heard of a quadruple degree before, so that's pretty impressive. You've lived through a pandemic. You've been at the front of the healthcare system in the pandemic. What's your lesson to us on what you'd like to see by way of changes in the healthcare system as a result of that experience?
Communication and messaging. There's a lot of information that comes out there, And my opinion is that people just need a hub where they can get reliable information that's accessible. Because at the end of the day, people are going to make decisions about their own body. I'm okay with you making whatever decision, yes or no, as long as you have the right information in front of you when you make that decision. So my job is to make sure you got the right info.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have Sterling Spellman, who together with her husband, Russ, are the founders of Incredible, a food truck with a mission. Sterling's passion for social impact is contagious, and she brought that energy to her 2019 Accelerator cohort. And I just have to say, where others see barriers, Sterling sees opportunity. So, Sterling.
Welcome, Vice President Harris, and thank you to our amazing Rhode Island government. You all are the best, and thank you for always supporting us. My name is Sterling Clinton Spellman. I am the co-owner of Incredible Food Company with my husband, Russell Spellman. We own 2 food trucks that serve healthy and delicious bowls, multicultural bowls, to our community. We have bowls like the chili Cuban mango and Korean barbecue beef, but also spicy Liberian bowls. The pandemic was scary for us, like many small businesses. We lost 320 events for 2020. But my husband and I were determined to make it work. We were resourceful. We applied for grants and loans, and thanks to the Restore RI, the adaptation grant, and also the PPP loan, we were able to push through. Our immediate goal is to open up a restaurant before the end of the year. But our big vision and goal is to open up restaurants across the country that will employ over 2,500 people by 2030. And that we will implement our Fresh Start program, our Incredible Fresh Start program. The Incredible Fresh Start program is a program that will employ people who are hard to employ or deemed unemployable. What we will do is not only provide opportunities for them, but we will provide personal development and professional development opportunities for them to open up their own Incredible and give opportunities to others. We really believe in second chances, and we want to provide that. What we are asking or seeking is funding, support, and also partnership. We know with your help, we'll be able to make that happen, and by 2030, 2,500 people will be doing what we are doing now, providing opportunities for others. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The first question is from Madam Vice President.
Congratulations, Sterling, to you and your family. So I've, years ago, started what I called a reentry initiative. But the model of what you are doing is profound, right? The category of people, I hate those labels, but the so-called hard to employ. You've been mentoring, you've been reaching out, you've been bringing them in, you've been training them. Can you talk about the balance between what you are doing in terms of the hard skills, what they need to do every day, and then the soft skills, and how you're approaching that, and how other small business owners should think about their role in doing the kind of work you're doing, which is to hire folks from the community who may not have the skills but are ripe for developing the skills?
Absolutely. So one of the things, and this is my background, leadership and education, one of the things that I have a gift with, and I've been training others to do, is to see what type of talent a person has already, the strength that they have, and focus on developing that rather than focusing on what they don't have. Because there's a lot, I feel like, in the workforce where I was like, oh, they don't have that, throw them away. But let's focus on what you do have and how we can grow that. And when we grow that, that means you're strong in that area, and we can help the next person be strong in that area rather than just throwing people away. I don't believe in that. As a former teacher, I know you have to dig deep and find what's in the person and do that. So more people, more companies need to focus on the strengths rather than their weaknesses. Thank you.
Second question is from Madam Secretary.
Sterling, I can see why you're a great leader. My first question is, I'm wondering why we're not munching on Incredibles right now.
I know, we're trying to make it happen.
This is the lunch hour. I'm just saying.
Next time we got you.
Okay, I hope so. So one of the components of the President's Jobs package is a big investment in job training and apprenticeships.
Yes.
And this is something the Labor Secretary and I and the Vice President have been talking a lot about, which is we have to make sure that these apprenticeships and job training are available to everyone with an equity lens, including formerly incarcerated, folks in recovery, people who need a second chance, as you say.
Yes.
And I would venture to guess there's not a person here who hasn't had a second chance in one way or another.
Yes.
So how do we do it? What lessons have you learned employing folks? What do we have to do in order to make these job training and apprenticeship programs effective for folks that are, quote unquote, harder to employ?
So I think it starts with having a different lens on when you're looking at someone's application, right? They may not look like the perfect fit, but how can we see how we can develop you? I think that's the key. We have to stop looking at, oh, well, they don't have a degree. That, first of all, when you put that there, you're already Xing out a lot of people. You X out a lot of people when you start putting all these things in your application. So we are, right now, one of the things we're using is Facebook. They have a jobs feature on their website. So a lot of people are on Facebook that already follow us. So we are offering the opportunity through there, and they don't have to necessarily submit a full-on out resume. So that means if you don't have a resume, you can apply for us, and we can go through and look through and see, can you come and work with us? But a lot of times there's barriers put up before we even get to the point to even meet the people, because we have all these things that they don't necessarily need to work on a food truck, right?
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
thank you.
And
Oh,
the
one more.
next question is from Congressman Cicilline.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
You've come a long way from your Youth in Action days.
Yes.
But still doing the same work.
Yes.
I want to build on the Vice President and the Secretary's question, because as you think about helping the folks you're helping, and I think the President has made very clear he wants an economy that everyone can benefit from and where everyone has an opportunity to be successful, are there policies that you've run up against that the federal government should look at and change that have made your work more difficult? Are there programs that we should be funding at a higher level that would facilitate the work you're doing? What kinds of barriers have we created in the federal government that we ought to be looking at?
So one of the things I know in Rhode Island is Ban the Box. That's a program that we really appreciate, so that you don't already X out a person because they wrote that. But also I think maybe educating, maybe there needs to be a law or something on educating people about why we need to be given second chances. Because a lot of times I know, just speaking to other business owners, there's a fear, well, we want to hire them, but what if this person is going to cause harm to us? Maybe there needs to be some benefits on the back end where if you do hire people who need a second chance, there's some type of benefit that you get to kind of help people open. We know a lot of times money, helps people to open their eyes a little bit. But something so on the back end, they're like, okay, let me give it a try and a shot. But also money into the training side of it. So these people are re-entering back into our society. Maybe they're coming from prison and re-entering into society. Training on a federal level that is funded to make sure that they have the correct training, and now they're prepared to come into our space, right? So, when I think about it more, we've been working on some things, but when I think about it more, I'll be sure to always share. I'm down to do that. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Sterling. Okay, and last but not least is Sandra Enos, founder of Giving Beyond the Box. Sandra has been part of the SEG community from the very early days, first as a partner, a donor, a volunteer, and now she's back as an entrepreneur herself. Sandra often says that it really takes a village to build a truly impactful business, and she has leveraged the SEG Village, which is our network of amazing business and community leaders who volunteer with us every day. And as a true entrepreneur, every time I talk to Sandra, she has a new idea for a product, service, or another business that will help make our communities better and stronger. So Sandra, thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Enos, and I'm a retired professor of sociology. So late in 2019, I created Giving Beyond the Box. It was just a couple of months after my 70th birthday, and I thought, what am I thinking? So what I was thinking was a great idea. So imagine this, it's Mother's Day, and this Mother's Day, you want to do something very special for your mom. You want to thank her for all those incredible values that she instilled in you. Your passion for social justice, your dedication to empowering women, your concern about the environment. And what you want to do is give her a gift box that's full of products that do good in the world. And you can do this because we partner with some leading social enterprises and some small businesses of color. So everything in that box does good in the world. When the pandemic hit, all of our boxes were sold in retail stores or in pop-up markets. So that meant that we needed to go online, which for us was a real struggle. But as they say, nonetheless, she persisted. So last October, we launched a special box, which is called Hope Strikes Back. And everything on the Hope Strikes Back box is a Rhode Island-based businesses of color. Just last month, we launched a box of our own, and everything in that box is a woman-owned social enterprise. We think we have a great future and great promise. In fact, our box has already been replicated by 2 former students of mine on the West Coast who took the Hope Strikes Back model. We're curating boxes with members of the LGBTQ community, with members of the differently abled community as well. So we see, once again, a spectacular future. We really see our boxes as bridges. And we see all of us as involved in something that I call the chamber of purpose. Consumers, social entrepreneurs, small businesses, policymakers, government leaders, all working on building back a better... That's too bad.
We asked her to go over so we could hear the buzzer. I'm sorry.
I am so...
You can finish the rest when you answer the question. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
The first question is from Madam Vice President.
Congratulations. This is wonderful. Hope strikes back. So, access to high-speed internet, affordability and access, 2 different points, big points. The pandemic, I think, was an accelerator on many issues, including highlighting the failures and the fissures of our systems. One of them being whether all people have affordable access to high-speed internet. So I think of it in terms of our students and their learning. I think of it in terms of our seniors and their access to telemedicine and healthcare, and our small businesses. Can you talk about how access to high-speed internet allowed you to survive through the pandemic, and also how it allows you to thrive as a small business, as a model of the need for all small businesses to have the same access?
Certainly. So without it, we would have been, dead in the water. And even now, as the pandemic begins to lift a little bit, once again, our online business, I'm sure, will be an immense part of our business, allowing us, as you just said, to expand, to reach new customers. So absolutely essential, for everything we do, and even reaching customers that, we haven't even been able to reach yet. So absolutely essential, not a question.
Second question from Congressman Langeman.
Well, congratulations on this whole concept, and I love the whole system that you put together, and Giving Beyond the Box, because it's not just one business, there's about probably a dozen businesses that you're supporting and working within there, and the ripple effect that it has. So congratulations on that. Obviously, the lifeblood of any business, you need both access to capital and you need customers. And so can you talk about the avenues that you pursued for access to capital, and what was easiest, what worked best? Was it an SBA loan? Was it other types of funding that you pursued? Was it, if you could expand on that, and also the companies that you work with, their experience, and what can we do better to give better and easier access to capital?
Yes, so far we are a very small business. You know, we're really testing out this concept. So my business right now is completely self-financed. But when I talk to other business owners, like the small businesses of color also, which are the like small businesses, that's who we try to, very small businesses, that's who we really try to feature in our box. They have enormous struggles, you know, in getting access to capital, and an issue that the Vice President was talking about before, as well as Sterling, this whole issue of who has access, who's in the game, who's not in the game, you know, so those are all extremely important to us, no question.
Great, thank you, Sandra. Thanks so much. And I just want to thank all 4 of these amazing entrepreneurs and the thousands and thousands of others like them for the work that they do every day to make our world a better place. And I want to thank all of you for being here today and for recognizing and celebrating the importance of entrepreneurs and small businesses in building a more just, resilient, and equitable economy that works for everyone. And with that, Madam Secretary, I'll invite you to give closing remarks.
Thank you. So I'm totally inspired. Thank you all. I think you've given us all hope. The challenges are real, the struggle is real, but your innovation and hope and persistence certainly has inspired me. And I will just say that we are committed to building back better, which means more equal access to capital, more equal access to job opportunities, and really leading into small businesses. The vast majority of Americans work for small businesses. And so we have to help stand up the ones that have gone out of business and sustain the ones that exist. And we are very lucky to have the Vice President with us today. But even more than that, very lucky to have a Vice President who understands this, who wakes up every day asking what she can do to help the small businesses of America. So thank you guys, and most of all, thank you for being with us. Come back to Rhode Island anytime.
I will definitely
anytime.
Keep coming back to Rhode Island. And congratulations to all of you again. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done, Madam Secretary.
I think it's a wrap. Yes, I think it's a wrap.
No, I think let's just keep doing what you're doing, because you all really are models of the best of what we're doing as a country. And it is about not only the importance of the work you are doing every day, it is about helping people see the possibilities. That's what you've each done. And this is what you are doing. And it's our great pleasure to be able to highlight it, to see the possibilities, the business models, and to challenge what makes for a profitable business model, depending on how you measure profit. And it should be, of course, you got to pay the bills, you got to make it work. But also, what are you doing to enhance the value of the community? What are you doing to enhance the potential of all human beings to reach their capacity? That's what you are doing. And so on behalf of the President and myself, I thank you very much, all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.